Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about PlayStation 3 emulation with our PS3, and there's a very interesting brand new video up on YouTube from one of the developers of our PS3. And it's titled, "It took 5 years to make this code 11.8 times faster." The creator of this video is WhatCookie, and they say here in the description, 5 years to gain the knowledge, 5 weeks to write the code. Another PS3 emulation video for you guys, filled with AVX512 code and optimizations. If you are interested in emulation development, if you're interested in seeing behind the curtain for the work that goes into making emulators and also improving emulators that are arguably already very good, I recommend checking out this video. And like everything we talk about, links are in the description below right at the bottom. I don't hide my sources. I think WhatCookie does a very good job of explaining things here. The video itself is highly technical, but at the same time, I would say easy to follow along and understand. And the work that goes on behind the scenes, I would also argue, is extremely impressive. And speaking about emulator development and also YouTube videos, next up we're talking about Nintendo Switch emulation with Citron. And there's a brand new video up here on YouTube titled, "Is Citron Emulator Back?" And short answer is yes. If you're interested in learning more about Citron, its current state and what's going on behind the scenes and where it's headed, check out the video. And again, like everything we talk about, links in the description below. Taking a look at the comments section, and it appears the video creator is replying to basically everyone here. So if you've got a question about Citron, it may be worth asking in that comment section. Someone asks, "Wow, nice work. May I ask if you've managed to get Tears of the Kingdom 1.4x working?" And they say, "Not yet. When are the new releases releasing to the public? TBD. And are there going to be any meaningful performance improvements in the future?" And they say here, "We are focusing on compatibility, but that might be possible in the near future." And on a side note here, and I think this is worth pointing out, they say this in the comments section, "I would also like to say that we should put all the drama stuff in the past now, since it is not something we want to associate ourselves with, and also we do not condone of what all the drama has stated we have done. I hope you guys enjoy Citron." And continuing to talk about emulation, next up here we're talking about something you may not hear very often, and that's J2ME. J2ME stands for Subscribe to Mr. Sujano, or Java 2 Platform Micro Edition, depending on how you wanted to interpret that. Anyways, there's a brand new J2ME emulator out there called Neo J2ME, and it just got a brand new release. Now, Neo J2ME is for Windows, and they say here in the description, "We already have examples of a J2ME emulator with front end on Android, but one such application does not seem to exist for Windows 10 or 11, at least not until now." They say the purpose is to bring J2ME gaming to the unknowledgeable Windows gamers and provide ease of use of the software. So at the time of filming, Neo J2ME version 1.0.0 is the latest update. And they say here it's a sleek, easy to use all-in-one J2ME emulator and front end all-in-one for Windows, built on free J2ME Plus, that lets you play J2ME games right out of the box. And I am betting there's going to be someone who's sick of me saying J2ME already. Anyways here, the emulator itself looks pretty simple and straightforward, including installation. As for the features, they say drag and drop to run your J2ME.jar games on Windows, customize the user-friendly interface to your liking, include whole game folders directories to add all your J2ME games at once, import games using the import button. Next up here, we're back to talking about videos posted on YouTube, and there's an interesting video here titled "Snapdragon 8 Elite Pushed to the Limit, The Witcher 3 Ultra Graphics Test." And Max's Tech Review has The Witcher 3 up and running, in some cases over 60 frames per second. There are a couple of things I want to point out. First and foremost, Max is screen recording on his device, which means he's probably losing a few FPS. And by a few, it could be a lot. It depends on the device, the system, the situation, and all of that. Sometimes it could be a 10 plus FPS drop. Sometimes it could just be a few frames per second. And sometimes it could be none. It's entirely situational. On top of that, they are using GameHub. And GameHub, I've got mixed emotions about. It is not open source. However, I'm not going to get into a debate versus GameHub and Winlator and Mobox and all of that stuff. That's a great topic for another video. But anyways, here it is worth checking out this video. I think it's very interesting, especially how he's got it broken up. I mean, you can see on medium preset, high preset, ultra preset, and low preset. It's a very fascinating video, and to me showcases how far chips are coming from mobile devices. And speaking about stuff that's not fully open source, next up we're talking about PlayStation 4 emulation with psOff. And psOff just got a brand new update. So at the time of filming, 2025 July 23U is the latest update. And with this update, there's a lot of small stuff in here that I would say amassed to a pretty big update. There's some audio improvements and additions. There's some fixes and even more. For the UI, they've added a button to clear the favorites list. They've added an option to select keybind for emulator overlay. I'm going to assume there's a number of people wondering about performance, and the psOff Discord's got you covered. Someone's got Dynasty Warriors 8 Extreme Legends Complete Edition up and running between 30 to 50 frames per second. On an Intel i5 4690K, that's almost 11 years old. And they say here it's still better than the PC port from PS3. Next up, we're talking about itch.io. Now, we have talked about a situation that happened earlier on regarding payment processors and also adult content. And that was affecting Steam, and now it seems that itch.io is also being affected. But this was a very interesting tweet to highlight from back in 2022. Warning, itch.io is not for prudes. If you click our link, please be careful about what you might see. So fast forward from 2022 to 2025, and there's a brand new blog post here on itch.io's website that has kind of made that tweet age like fine milk. The blog post is titled, Update on NSFW Content. So they go on to say here, we have de-indexed all adult NSFW content from our browse and search pages. We understand this action is sudden and disruptive, and we are truly sorry for the frustration and confusion caused by this change. And this is where things get even more interesting. They say, recently we came under scrutiny from our payment processors regarding the nature of some content hosted on itch.io, due to a game titled No Mercy, which was temporarily available on itch.io before being banned back in April. The organization, Collective Shout, launched a campaign against Steam and itch.io, directing concerns to our payment processors about the nature of certain content found on both platforms. Now, I'll get back to that in just a second. They go on to say here, we are currently conducting a comprehensive audit of content to ensure we can meet the requirements of our payment processor. Pages will remain de-indexed as we complete our review. Once this review is complete, we will introduce new compliance measures. For NSFW pages, this will include a new step where creators must confirm their content is allowable under the policies of the respective payment processors linked to their account. Furthermore, they say part of this review will see some pages being permanently removed from itch.io. So it seems as if the organization here, Collective Shout, has caused some major ripples in the overall industry for both Steam and itch.io regarding controversial games. This seems as if it's going to be a cut and dry situation that is not up for debate. I'm assuming there are going to be a number of people not happy with Collective Shout, and I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of people who probably would have never have played those games anyways. We're going to have to wait and see moving forward on this one, but I'm assuming this is not going to be the end of Collective Shout. And I'm curious to see if this grassroots campaign continues to evolve and maybe continues to make other effects throughout the gaming industry, or if this is it. Next up here is more of just a friendly heads up. If you're a fan of Lego and a fan of the Game Boy, you might be a fan of this here. Now, obviously it's not a functional Game Boy, but at the same time, it is a nice display piece. There is a Lego Game Boy. It was leaked earlier on, and now it's official. It's releasing on October 1st for $60 overall. And it features two games. One is Link's Awakening and the other is Super Mario Land. Now, I'm not going to lie here. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this one, so let me know in the comments below. This may be a hot take, and it's not that I'm against Lego, but $60 seems... I mean, I'd rather try to spend $60 to pick up a real Game Boy in these two games. It might be hard-pressed to do that. But at the same time here, I would rather have something that's functional and real at this price point. maybe that's the hot take. I know the Lego looks cool, but at the same time, I mean, playing the actual games I would say is even cooler. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.